Hi everybody, I'm Michaela Barton, the tourism manager for the City of Broken Arrow, and I'm joined here today by Mr. Brian Dean, who is the chair of the Visit Broken Arrow board. How are you today, Brian?
Fantastic.
Great.
Yes.
So can you start today just by telling me a little bit about why you're serving on this board? It's a volunteer board, takes up a lot of time, and just how long you've been on the board and why you do it.
Two great reasons. First is it's just fun being part of the community and helping the community grow, which is always a passion of mine. But two, it lets me in on everything that's coming into town, and I enjoy that.
Get the scoop.
That's right. Get the lowdown.
Yeah. Well, we meet every month. We went over last time, we kind of talked about the board and where the funding comes from, so we don't need to do that again. But we definitely appreciate your willingness to serve and be the chair, whether you're voluntold to do so or do so willingly. Thank you for your time on the board.
My pleasure.
So we just wrapped up our August meeting, and we talked about several different things. First was just a simple presentation from Rooster Days. They gave us a recap of their 25 event. So what did you think about that?
I thought it was great. 41,000 people showed up. That's a big number. Mm-hmm. So I think that's bigger than last year's, right?
Yeah, they said, I think they hadn't seen 40,000 for like 5 years. So it was definitely a comeback year, I think.
Good to see that. And
Yeah.
the largest turnout for the Rooster Day run, which is also nice.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see the event growing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I know Visit Broken Arrow contributes, and we have for many years, or the City of Broken Arrow contributes $20,000 for them to help them with their marketing. So they talked about using influencers this year for the first time, which seemed like they were really happy with the turnout of that. So I think that's a kind of a new way of marketing that people are jumping into. So yeah,
For sure.
I guess the next year's event they announced would be May 14th through 17th, 26. So I'm sure they're already starting preparations for that. So looking forward to it. Okay, so the next thing we talked about was, I'm going to read this because I always mess it up. It's going to be the second annual Pretty Good at Drinking Beer and Barbecue rebate. So this is an event that they came to us last year. Visit Broken Arrow supported them. They were just getting started. And so this is a second year, which is always a good sign. So tell me a little bit about what they talked about today when they came.
Well, we're growing, apparently. So they're going to move out of the parking lot of the Broken Arrow Brewing Company and move to Central Park. And so that's a good sign, adding bands. Looks like Bison. It's based out of Claremore. I know they've performed at the Lodge here on Main Street a few times. Seem to be a growing attraction, so that'll be nice to see.
Yeah.
A little bit bummed. I'm going to be out of town that day.
Oh,
so
no.
I won't be able to attend because I'm pretty good at drinking beer and eating barbecue
and
myself.
eating barbecue.
That's right.
Well, so it is September 27th. And then one thing they added this year, which, I'm not a huge barbecue event. I haven't been to many. So when he came last year, he had to explain that there wasn't really an opportunity for people to come eat barbecue, because that's what I would be excited about. But this year they did add the People's Choice. So that means that we do get to eat barbecue. There's going to be 10 different barbecuers that are cooking. And so that'll be fun that they're adding that and it's just another way of them bringing more people if they can say, hey, we're going to feed you too while we're doing this event. So
I have been to one of those, and it's tough to eat all that barbecue.
Yeah. Yeah.
As good as I am at it.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to that and seeing how that event grows. Okay, so the next thing you guys heard from us about was a vinyl truck wrap to go on the new Visit Broken Arrow truck. So a couple months ago, we got a little Chevy Colorado that we're going to use. We go to a lot of events and we do a lot of running around. So we just asked for a truck that had a bed. We could put our coolers in and all of our equipment and everything as we run back and forth. And we also asked for four-wheel drive because a lot of the events have ended up being muddy messes. So we asked for that. But so with this truck wrap, we're advertisers for the city. And so I don't think that, the standard white truck with the standard City of Broken Arrow logo would quite do our work justice. And so we came up with a design. This is a draft design of the truck wrap. And so we are so excited to take this truck around town to the events and just do constant branding every time we go on a trip. So what did you think of this design?
I think it's great. I mean, our logo that we invested a lot of time and effort into, gaining exposure, being at the airport and seeing around at the events. This is just going to be a constant reminder. And it highlights a lot of the different events and the things that we love about Broken Arrow. So,
yeah, we're using all of our logo colors and, the standards. And then we've got our website on there. And then we're going to try and figure out a way to add maybe a QR code as long as it's safe to do so. Maybe on the tailgate so people can scan to learn more. And then just make a few adjustments to this. But this is a general look. So we're very excited for the support of that and for people to start recognizing this around town. Okay, so the last thing that we talked about, which I go over at the end of every meeting, is just the monthly tourism manager report. So I just talk about general activity that may not, come up in an item on the agenda. And so I talk about what our budget looks like. So this is a brand new year, fiscal year 26. Started in July, and so we had a couple big payments on that one. One of the payments that I talked about was Uber. We saw a huge spike in our Uber use, and so that's a great thing. So that means that people were using it. The word's getting out. It's taken 2.5 years or more. I think we can go back and see who used it, where they went. There was a lot of the rides from the airport to the hotels and back. So we're just excited to see that finally taking off. I'm guessing it was a wedding, but I don't know that for sure. So,
at least some of them were for a wedding. I
Yeah.
know that. So in case those watching, if you don't know what the Uber program is, for those that are staying at a hotel here in Broken Arrow, we pay for Ubers to and from the airport as well as to the Rose District and New Orleans Square. Just an added incentive for them to stay here in Broken Arrow and spend money in Broken Arrow.
yeah, we love that program. And it continues to get interest. I mean, we have other cities reaching out to ask how we implemented it and, what we're seeing from it. So it's a great thing. So the other thing we talk about is just our monthly and year-to-date hotel tax collections. This was a new fiscal year, so, we just talk about in June, our collection was up a little bit. In July, based on last year. In July, it was down a little bit. But overall, we pretty much stay, between June of last year and June of this year, we've pretty much stayed about the same for our hotel tax collection. So one of the other cool things that we talk about is how Broken Arrow compares, how our hotel data compares to Oklahoma and how it compares to the U.S. in general. So our occupancy rate in May of this year was just over 60%, 60.1, where Oklahoma's average was 59.7. So that's good for us. We're a little bit higher than the state's average for occupancy rate, where U.S. is seeing 65%, which, that's talking about all of the biggest destinations in the U.S. So I'm pretty proud of where we end up in Broken Arrow for an occupancy rate. So.
For sure, we're the best.
We are the best. And I think it's just going to keep getting better. So other things we talked about just coming up, we have the Chalk It Up and Rose Festival coming up September 19th. So we're excited about that. That event continues to grow every year. I'm sure we will hear a recap from that soon, probably our October meeting. And then we've just got a couple other things coming up. We've got a hoteliers meeting. We meet with our hoteliers every quarter. And that's a great meeting just to get together and talk to them about what they're seeing and, talk about ideas and what's great and what's not. And, so that was pretty much our August recap.
That was everything. You hit it all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking more time to be here today. We appreciate you. And we will see you next month.
Thank you.